Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm so glad to have you here today. In this video, we are diving into the fascinating world of Jabir ibn Hayyan, one of the greatest alchemists and scientists of the Islamic Golden Age. His incredible contributions to chemistry, medicine, and alchemy have had a lasting impact on the history of science. Today we'll explore some of his most important works, from his groundbreaking Book of the Secrets of Creation to his writings on the preparation of medicine, stones, and much more. So if you're passionate about history, science, or just love learning about the pioneers of knowledge, you're in the right place. Let's get started and uncover the legacy of Jabir ibn Hayyan together. Jabir ibn Hayyan, often referred to as the father of chemistry, was a polymath who made significant contributions to alchemy, medicine, and science. He authored a vast number of texts, many of which have had a profound influence on the development of modern chemistry and medicine. Here is an introduction to some of his most notable works. Book number No. The Book of the Secrets of Creation and the Art of Nature is one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's most influential works, where he delves deeply into the mystical and natural aspects of the universe. The text explores the essence of existence, focusing on the forces and processes that shape the world around us. Jabir's primary aim was to uncover the hidden laws of nature and to reveal the divine principles behind creation. His writing reflects a synthesis of ancient Greek philosophy, particularly the teachings of Aristotle, with Islamic thought and alchemical traditions. In the book, Jabir presents a worldview that combines both the metaphysical and the physical aspects of existence. He discusses the concepts of creation, transformation, and the continuous cycles that govern the universe. A key theme in the book is the idea that everything in the universe is connected, with the natural world serving as a reflection of a deeper divine order. Through his observations and interpretations, Jabir emphasizes the importance of understanding the hidden realities that govern both material and spiritual worlds. Jabir also explores the concept of the prima materia, or the original substance, which he believed was the fundamental building block of all things. In his alchemical framework, this substance could be purified and transformed through the application of specific processes, ultimately leading to a deeper understanding of creation itself. He compares the universe to a grand alchemical laboratory, where natural processes and divine principles work in harmony to bring about change and transformation. The text goes beyond mere theoretical musings. It also includes practical elements, offering guidance on how to conduct experiments to uncover the secrets of nature. Jabir believed that by understanding the hidden forces of nature, one could unlock the ability to manipulate matter and even influence the course of events. His approach is deeply philosophical, but also grounded in a scientific desire to observe, test, and learn from nature. In this work, Jabir demonstrates his mastery of alchemical processes, linking them with metaphysical concepts to reveal a unified understanding of the world. He explores various substances, their properties, and the transformative processes they undergo, offering insights into how these materials can be altered or combined to achieve specific goals. The book serves as both a philosophical treatise and a practical guide for those seeking to understand the deeper principles that govern the physical world. Overall, the Book of the Secrets of Creation and the Art of Nature is a remarkable synthesis of thought and experimentation. It highlights Jabir's unique ability to blend mystical and scientific inquiry, demonstrating how the search for knowledge in both the natural and metaphysical realms is a journey toward understanding the true nature of reality. Book number 2, The Book of Stones, Kitab al-Jawahir, is one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's significant works in the field of alchemy, in which he explores the nature, properties, and transformations of various minerals and metals. This book is not just a catalog of substances, but rather a deep dive into the secrets of the natural world. focusing on how stones and minerals interact with one another and how their characteristics can be manipulated through alchemical processes. Jabir's interest in the material world, especially the transformation of substances, is evident in this text, where he emphasizes the role of alchemy in understanding the hidden forces that shape the physical realm. In the Book of Stones, Jabir introduces a systematic classification of minerals and their essential properties. Each stone or mineral is described in terms of its physical, chemical, and mystical qualities. Jabir believed that every material had an inherent spirit or essence, and through the right processes, this essence could be extracted, purified, or transformed. This belief aligns with the broader alchemical notion that everything in nature has a hidden essence that can be brought to the surface with the proper understanding and technique. A particularly fascinating aspect of the book is Jabir's exploration of the transformation of metals. He outlines the processes by which base metals like lead or copper can be transformed into more precious ones, such as gold and silver, through a combination of alchemical techniques. While his pursuit of transmutation was largely symbolic, seeking to understand the transformation of the material world as a metaphor for spiritual transformation, it also laid the groundwork for the practical development of early chemistry. Jabir also discusses the philosophical implications of working with stones and metals, considering how the manipulation of material substances could unlock deeper truths about the universe and the natural laws that govern it. His exploration of alchemical processes in this work reflects a belief in the interconnectedness of all things, where the physical world and the metaphysical realm are intertwined, and understanding one helps reveal the secrets of the other. The book also contains detailed instructions on various chemical and alchemical procedures, demonstrating Jabir's belief in the importance of empirical observation and experimentation. He emphasizes the need for careful preparation and the correct combination of substances to achieve desired outcomes. This practical approach to alchemy was revolutionary for its time, as it focused not only on the philosophical or mystical aspects of alchemy, but also on the technical, scientific methods required to work with materials effectively. Throughout the Book of Stones, Jabir's writings reflect his deep respect for the natural world and his understanding of how the material realm can be studied and understood in a methodical, scientific manner. By exploring the properties and transformations of stones, minerals, and metals, he laid important foundations for the later development of modern chemistry. His work stands as an early attempt to systematize the study of substances, categorizing them in a way that would eventually influence later alchemists and scientists who sought to uncover the mysteries of the natural world. Ultimately, Jabir's Book of Stones is a complex blend of theoretical exploration and practical alchemy. It shows his desire to understand not just the nature of substances, but also their transformation, both physically and spiritually. The text serves as a bridge between the mystical traditions of the past and the scientific inquiry that would later emerge in the Renaissance, making it an invaluable contribution to the history of alchemy and early chemistry. Book number 3, the Book of the Preparation of Medicines, Kitab al-Adwiya al-Mufrada, is a foundational text in the history of medicine and pharmacology, written by Jabir ibn Hayyan. In this work, Jabir systematically explores the preparation, properties, and therapeutic applications of various medicinal substances, laying the groundwork for later advancements in the field of pharmacology. The book not only offers practical recipes for medicines, but also delves into the alchemical and scientific principles behind the preparation of these substances. One of the key aspects of Kitab al-Adwiya al-Mufrada is its detailed descriptions of numerous medicinal plants, minerals, and animal products used in ancient medicine. Jabir identifies and categorizes a wide range of substances, explaining their physical characteristics, medicinal uses, and therapeutic benefits. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the qualities of the ingredients and how they interact with one another to create effective treatments. This focus on the precise and careful combination of substances was groundbreaking, as it was one of the earliest attempts to systematize the field of pharmacology in a scientific way. The text also discusses the various methods for preparing medicinal concoctions, including distillation, extraction, and sublimation, which are essential alchemical processes that Jabir refined and documented in this work. These methods allowed for the isolation of active ingredients from plants and minerals, making it possible to concentrate their healing properties and use them more effectively. Jabir's emphasis on these techniques was innovative at the time, as it signified a shift toward more scientific and methodical approaches to medicine, moving away from purely mystical or spiritual explanations of healing. Jabir's approach to medicine was deeply rooted in the philosophy of balance and harmony. He believed that health depended on the proper balance of the humors in the body, a concept inherited from ancient Greek medicine, particularly from the teachings of Hippocrates and Galen. However, Jabir expanded on this by incorporating his knowledge of chemistry and alchemy, viewing the human body as a complex system of interacting substances that could be manipulated and healed through the careful use of medicines. His use of chemical processes to purify and refine medicinal substances reflected his belief in the transformative power of nature and the possibility of altering the body's state of health by introducing the right combination of substances. In addition to the specific medicinal preparations, Jabir's book of the preparation of medicines also addresses the overall philosophy behind the practice of medicine. He viewed the role of the physician as not only a healer of the body, but also a guide who could restore balance to the body and mind. Jabir's medical writings were rooted in the Islamic tradition of seeking knowledge, and he believed that understanding the natural world and its processes was key to achieving health and well-being. As such, this book is as much a philosophical treatise on the nature of medicine as it is a practical guide to the preparation and use of medicinal substances. Moreover, Jabir was one of the first to introduce the idea of chemistry into the practice of medicine, and this work is considered one of the early texts to bridge the gap between alchemy and modern pharmacology. His efforts to understand and categorize the substances used in medicine laid the groundwork for later scientists who would continue to refine the techniques of drug preparation and healing. The medicinal recipes found in Kitab al-Adwiya, al-Mufrada, were not only practical for contemporary practitioners, but also served as inspiration for later generations of scholars and physicians who sought to improve the practice of medicine. In conclusion, the Book of the Preparation of Medicines stands as one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's most important contributions to the fields of medicine and pharmacology. His systematic approach to the preparation of medicines, combined with his understanding of chemical processes, offered a new scientific perspective on healing that influenced both Islamic and European medical traditions for centuries to come. Through this work, Jabir helped establish the foundations for the development of modern pharmacology and medicinal chemistry, making it an essential text in the history of science and medicine. Book number 4, The Book of Balances. Kitab al-Mizan is one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's most significant works, particularly in the field of alchemy and chemistry. This text serves as a detailed exploration of the principles that govern the balance and proportion of substances, both in the material world and in the laboratory. The core idea of the book is that everything in nature is governed by a set of rules that dictate how substances interact, transform, and balance one another. Jabir applied these ideas not only to alchemical processes, but also to his broader understanding of the universe, believing that the key to understanding and controlling natural phenomena lay in recognizing and manipulating these balances. In Kitab al-Mizan, Jabir introduces the concept of balance as a metaphor for understanding chemical reactions and the way in which various elements and compounds interact. He believes that substances in nature are always striving for equilibrium, and that chemical processes, including those in the alchemical laboratory, are attempts to either achieve or disrupt that balance. Through this lens, Jabir presents alchemy not merely as a mystical or magical practice, but as a scientific endeavor grounded in the pursuit of harmony and proportion. One of the book's most notable features is its emphasis on the importance of precise measurement and methodology in alchemical work. Jabir stresses that success in transforming substances, whether it's turning base metals into gold or creating medicinal compounds, requires an understanding of the exact proportions of materials used. He provides formulas for creating different compounds, detailing how to measure and combine elements with specific ratios in order to achieve the desired result. This level of precision represents a significant step toward a more systematic and empirical approach to chemistry. The idea of balance is not limited to the mixing of substances. Jabir also uses the concept to discuss the balance of forces in nature, particularly the interactions between hot and cold, wet and dry, and other fundamental qualities that were thought to govern the physical world. These ideas were rooted in ancient Greek philosophy, particularly in the teachings of Aristotle, but Jabir expanded upon them by incorporating his own observations and experiments with substances. He viewed these qualities as fundamental to understanding both the physical and metaphysical aspects of the world. Moreover, Kitab al-Mizan is also a key text in Jabir's exploration of the relationship between science and spirituality. He suggests that the act of balancing substances is not merely a practical task, but also a reflection of deeper cosmic principles. For Jabir, understanding and manipulating the balance of substances was akin to understanding the divine order of the universe. The processes of transformation and purification that alchemists performed in their laboratories were, in his view, symbolic of a higher truth about the nature of existence. Jabir's insights into chemical processes were ahead of his time, and many of the concepts he presented in Kitab al-Mizan have parallels with modern scientific principles. For example, his focus on balance and proportion anticipated later developments in the field of stoichiometry, the branch of chemistry that deals with the calculation of reactants and products in chemical reactions. Additionally, his approach to creating and testing chemical compounds through controlled experimentation laid the groundwork for the modern scientific method, which values observation, measurement, and repeatability. Another important aspect of the book is Jabir's discussion of laboratory techniques. Kitab al-Mizan includes instructions for various alchemical processes, such as distillation, sublimation, and calcination, which were crucial for extracting and purifying substances. These methods would become standard in later alchemical and chemical laboratories, and played an important role in the development of experimental science. Jabir's careful and systematic approach to these procedures marked a departure from the more mystical and speculative nature of earlier alchemy. The work is also notable for its philosophical implications. Jabir does not simply treat alchemy as a means of material gain, such as the pursuit of turning lead into gold. Instead, he positions the practice as a way to understand the broader principles of nature, human existence, and the cosmos. In this way, Kitab al-Mizan serves as both a scientific manual and a philosophical treatise, offering insights into the deeper meanings of transformation and balance in the natural world. In conclusion, the Book of Balances stands as one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's most important contributions to alchemy and the development of chemistry. By introducing the concept of balance as a central principle in alchemical processes and emphasizing precision and methodology, Jabir helped transform alchemy from a mystical pursuit into a more systematic and empirical science. His work in Kitab al-Mizan laid the foundation for the later development of chemistry and continues to influence scientific thought today. Moreover, by intertwining the scientific with the philosophical, Jabir's work bridges the gap between material science and metaphysical inquiry, offering a holistic view of the universe as a place of harmony, proportion, and transformation. Book number 5, the Book of the Combination of Simples, Kitab al-Majmu'a, is another significant contribution by Jabir ibn Hayyan, where he focuses on the art of combining simple substances to create new compounds with specific properties. The simples in the title refer to basic or elementary substances, which can include natural elements like plants, minerals, and metals. This work illustrates Jabir's deep understanding of the interaction between different substances and how their combinations could result in new materials, often with beneficial or transformative properties. The essence of Kitab al-Majmu'a lies in its exploration of how individual elements, each with its unique characteristics, can be combined to yield more complex substances. Jabir's method was based on the idea that all substances in the universe are interconnected, and that, by understanding the nature of each element, one could manipulate them to create compounds for various purposes. This approach laid the foundation for later chemical synthesis and was a significant step toward a more systematic understanding of chemistry. One of the key themes of this work is Jabir's attempt to categorize substances based on their inherent qualities, such as hot, cold, wet, and dry, which were believed to be fundamental properties governing the behavior of materials. Jabir's approach to classifying substances went beyond mere physical properties to include metaphysical aspects, considering the spirit or essence that resided within each substance. By understanding these essential qualities, Jabir believed that one could predict how substances would behave when combined and how to control the resulting transformations. In Kitab al-Majmu'a, Jabir outlines various processes of combination and transformation, demonstrating how the careful mixing of simple substances could produce compounds that were more than just the sum of their parts. This is a key idea in early chemistry. The notion that chemical reactions and the right combination of substances could yield new properties that were not present in the individual components. For example, the combination of certain metals or minerals could result in alloys with unique properties, or the blending of plant extracts could create powerful medicinal mixtures. Jabir's text also addresses the philosophical and practical aspects of combining substances. He emphasizes the importance of balance and proportion, which is a recurring theme in his works. In alchemical terms, achieving the right balance between the various qualities of the substances being combined is crucial to ensuring a successful transformation. Jabir's method of experimentation and observation in the laboratory became a cornerstone of his approach to alchemy. By working systematically and methodically, he sought to uncover the hidden properties of substances and harness them for practical use. This work was groundbreaking because it represented one of the earliest systematic attempts to explore chemical reactions and compound formation from both a theoretical and practical perspective. Jabir did not simply experiment for the sake of discovery, but aimed to understand the deeper principles behind the processes. This approach foreshadowed later developments in chemistry and pharmacology, where the understanding of compounds and reactions became central to the field. Furthermore, Kitab al-Majmu'a is notable for its practical applications in medicine. Jabir was deeply interested in the therapeutic potential of the substances he studied, and much of his work focused on creating medicinal compounds that could heal or treat various ailments. By combining simple elements in specific ways, Jabir believed it was possible to create powerful medicines with healing properties. This belief in the transformative power of substances is one of the key components of Jabir's alchemical philosophy. where the act of combining and transforming materials was seen as a way to unlock their hidden potential, both for practical and spiritual benefits. The work is also important for its influence on later generations of scientists, particularly in the development of pharmacology and the chemical sciences. And Jabir's methods of isolating and combining substances laid the groundwork for later techniques in chemical synthesis and medicinal chemistry. The idea that substances could be combined to create new, useful compounds became a cornerstone of later scientific exploration and experimentation. In addition to its scientific and medical contributions, Kitab al-Majmu'a also touches on the mystical and spiritual dimensions of alchemy. Jabir believed that alchemical processes, including the combination of substances, were not only ways to produce material goods, but also pathways to understanding the deeper truths of the universe. The act of transforming and combining substances was, in his view, a metaphor for the spiritual journey of purification and enlightenment. Overall, the Book of the Combination of Simples is a key text in the history of alchemy and early chemistry. It presents a sophisticated and systematic approach to understanding chemical processes, emphasizing the importance of balance, proportion, and observation in the creation of new substances. Jabir ibn Hayyan's insights into the nature of matter, his methods of experimentation, and his exploration of the relationship between the physical and metaphysical realms had a lasting influence on the development of science and medicine. His work in Kitab al-Majmu'a remains an important step in the long evolution of chemical theory and the understanding of how substances interact to form new compounds. Book number 6, the Book of the Combination of Simples, Kitab al-Majmu'a, is an essential text by Jabir ibn Hayyan that offers an in-depth exploration of the principles behind combining basic substances, or simples, to create more complex compounds. Jabir's approach reflects his extensive knowledge of both alchemical and medical practices, as well as his belief in the deep interconnections between the material world and metaphysical forces. The book serves as a guide to understanding how different substances, each possessing unique qualities, can be combined in specific ways to produce new substances with desirable properties. At its core, Kitab al-Majmu'a is a treatise on the alchemical and chemical processes of combining different elements. Jabir categorizes substances such as metals, minerals, plant extracts, and animal products by their inherent qualities, such as hot, cold, wet, and dry. These fundamental qualities, derived from ancient Greek and Roman thought, were believed to influence how materials interact with each other. Jabir elaborates on how the proper combination of these elements can result in new substances that exhibit different, often more beneficial properties than the individual components. Jabir's approach was systematic and highly methodical. He did not merely rely on theoretical ideas, but also conducted experiments and observations to support his conclusions. By combining substances in different ratios and under specific conditions, Jabir sought to uncover the hidden properties of materials that could be harnessed for practical applications, such as in medicine or the creation of new materials. This experimental approach marks an important shift from the mystical and speculative nature of earlier alchemical writings, positioning Jabir as one of the forerunners of modern scientific methodology. The book's focus on the combination of simple substances also reflects Jabir's belief in the unity and harmony of nature. He understood that the properties of substances could be manipulated to restore balance, whether in the human body through medicinal compounds or in nature through alchemical transformations. His approach emphasizes balance and harmony in all things, whether the balance between different qualities of substances or the balance between the physical and spiritual aspects of existence. One of the most notable aspects of Kitab al-Majmu'a is Jabir's development of specific procedures and techniques for combining simple substances. These include alchemical processes like distillation, calcination, sublimation, and fermentation. Jabir describes how these processes can be used to purify, transform, and concentrate the properties of substances. For example, distillation is described as a method for separating the volatile components of a substance from its more fixed elements, while sublimation allows for the elevation of the spirit, or essence of a material. Through these processes, Jabir believed that substances could be purified and transformed into more potent forms, whether for medicinal, chemical, or spiritual purposes. In the context of medicine, Kitab al-Majmu'a provides detailed instructions on how to prepare medicinal compounds by combining simples. Jabir recognized the importance of understanding the medicinal properties of plants, minerals, and metals, and how these substances could be blended to create effective remedies for various ailments. The book serves as a precursor to the development of pharmacology, as Jabir's work laid the foundation for understanding how the chemical composition of substances could be altered to produce therapeutic effects. He also emphasizes the importance of dosage and the precision with which substances must be combined in order to achieve the desired therapeutic outcomes. For Jabir, the combination of simples was not just a practical endeavor, but also a deeply philosophical and spiritual one. He believed that the transformation of substances through alchemical processes could mirror the spiritual purification of the alchemist, leading to enlightenment. In this sense, alchemy was not merely about material gain or transformation, but also about a deeper understanding of the divine order of the universe. The alchemist's work in the laboratory could be seen as a form of spiritual alchemy, where the ultimate goal was the purification of the self and the attainment of knowledge. Another important contribution of Kitab al-Majmu'a is its systematic approach to chemical experimentation. Jabir is one of the first known figures to integrate the ideas of empirical observation and experimentation into the practice of alchemy. His detailed accounts of laboratory procedures, such as the use of fire, heat, and specialized apparatuses, show a clear understanding of the scientific method, though it was still in its nascent stages at the time. Jabir's insistence on careful observation, measurement, and documentation would influence future generations of scientists and alchemists who sought to refine and build upon his work. Jabir's Kitab al-Majmu'a also provides a framework for understanding how the physical and metaphysical aspects of substances can be interconnected. He saw the act of combining simples as a way to unlock the hidden potential within materials, transforming them into something greater than the sum of their parts. This aligns with his broader philosophical view that the universe is governed by a set of divine laws, and that human beings, through knowledge and experimentation, can gain insight into these laws by working with the natural world. In conclusion, the Book of the Combination of Simples stands as a foundational text in both alchemy and early chemistry. Jabir ibn Hayyan's approach to combining substances in precise ways to produce new compounds was groundbreaking, serving as a precursor to modern pharmacology and chemical synthesis. The book also integrates Jabir's belief in the spiritual dimension of alchemy, where the transformation of substances mirrors the purification and enlightenment of the alchemist. Through his detailed exploration of laboratory techniques and his systematic approach to experimentation, Jabir established a scientific framework that influenced both the development of alchemical thought and the later advancement of chemistry. Kitab al-Majmu'a remains a significant milestone in the history of science, bridging the gap between the mystical and the empirical, and marking a key moment in the evolution of scientific knowledge. Book number 7, the Book of Chemical Preparation, Kitab al-Isti'ama, is one of Jabir ibn Hayyan's most influential works in the field of alchemy, focused on the methods and techniques of preparing chemicals and compounds for various purposes. Jabir's alchemical expertise, grounded in both mystical and empirical approaches, is thoroughly reflected in this text, where he details processes for creating chemical compounds through precise preparation methods. In this, the book serves as a practical guide to the synthesis of materials, laying the foundation for later developments in chemistry and pharmacology. The core focus of Kitab al-Isti'ama is on the preparation of chemical substances through specific procedures. Jabir presents a wide array of alchemical techniques for extracting, purifying, and transforming raw materials into usable substances. These techniques, such as distillation, sublimation, calcination, and fermentation, were central to Jabir's understanding of how natural materials could be processed and transformed into more potent or valuable forms. The alchemist's role, according to Jabir, was not only to experiment with these materials, but also to master these processes in order to unlock the hidden potential of substances. One of the key elements of Kitab al-Isti'ama is the emphasis on the use of controlled techniques to refine substances. Jabir emphasizes that chemical preparation requires precision and knowledge of the inherent properties of materials. For example, in distillation, Jabir elaborates on the process of heating a substance to separate its volatile components from the fixed, non-volatile ones. This technique, which would later become central in modern chemistry, allowed Jabir and his successors to isolate essential oils, solvents, and medicinal compounds from plants and minerals. Similarly, through sublimation, Jabir demonstrated how materials could be transformed into gaseous states and then condensed back into more refined, purified forms. The book also provides insight into Jabir's understanding of the role of heat in chemical reactions. Jabir recognized that heat was essential in many alchemical operations to bring about the desired transformations in substances. Whether it was the calcination of metals to purify them or the creation of essential compounds through intense heat, Jabir's mastery of the role of heat and fire in alchemy contributed to the evolution of chemical experimentation. These processes would become key not just in alchemy but in the later development of early chemistry, as they demonstrated the importance of heat in chemical transformations. Furthermore, Kitab al-Isti'ama illustrates Jabir's keen interest in the practical applications of chemical preparation. While many early alchemical works were concerned with mystical goals such as the transmutation of base metals into gold or the search for the philosopher's stone, Jabir's approach in this work was more pragmatic. He focused on creating useful substances that could serve practical purposes, particularly in medicine. Through chemical preparation, Jabir aimed to unlock the potential of raw materials for healing, and his text contains numerous recipes for medicinal concoctions that could treat various ailments. This focus on practical chemistry made Kitab al-Isti'ama a critical work for the early development of pharmacology and medicinal chemistry. The book also serves as a bridge between the mystical and the scientific. Jabir's alchemical practices, while rooted in the idea of transmutation and the discovery of hidden essences within substances, were based on systematic and empirical methods. Jabir's careful observation of chemical reactions and his understanding of the transformation of materials laid the groundwork for a more scientific approach to chemistry. His experimentation with chemical processes, while still embedded within the context of alchemy, helped move the practice toward the scientific method that would later become central to modern chemistry. In addition to his practical instructions, Jabir also discusses the spiritual and philosophical dimensions of chemical preparation. For Jabir, alchemy was not merely a means to manipulate substances for material gain, but also a means of spiritual enlightenment. The processes of purification and transformation that alchemists engaged in were seen as symbolic of a greater journey of self-purification and knowledge. The work reflects Jabir's belief that understanding the secrets of nature and manipulating them in the laboratory was also a way of understanding the divine order of the universe. For Jabir, alchemical practice was as much about the transformation of the practitioner's own soul. Another key feature of Kitab al-Isti'ama is its exploration of the interrelationships between different substances. Jabir was one of the first to systematically approach chemistry from the perspective of combining substances to create new compounds with specific characteristics. Through the proper combination and preparation of substances, Jabir believed that it was possible to create new materials with enhanced properties, whether it was a medicinal compound for healing or a new alloy for industrial purposes. His systematic approach to combining substances laid the foundation for future advancements in chemical synthesis. Moreover, Jabir's influence on later generations of scientists is significant. His work in Kitab al-Isti'ama was one of the first to describe chemical processes with a level of precision and methodology that would be refined by future chemists. His focus on experimentation, observation, and the careful combination of substances anticipated key elements of the scientific method. Later alchemists and chemists, particularly in the Renaissance, would build upon Jabir's techniques, gradually moving from the mystical aspects of alchemy to the more empirical practices that characterize modern chemistry. In conclusion, the Book of Chemical Preparation is an important and practical work by Jabir bin Hayyan that contributes significantly to the early development of chemistry and pharmacology. Through detailed descriptions of chemical techniques such as distillation, sublimation, and calcination, Jabir provided essential knowledge for transforming raw materials into purified substances with useful properties. While rooted in alchemy, the work emphasizes precision, empirical observation, and practical application, and it laid the groundwork for the later scientific study of chemistry. Beyond the practical aspects, the text also reflects Jabir's philosophical and spiritual approach to alchemy, where chemical transformation was seen as part of a greater divine order. Jabir's work in Kitab al-Isti'ama remains a critical contribution to the history of science, bridging the gap between mysticism and empirical experimentation. In conclusion, JabirIbn Hayyan's contributions to the fields of alchemy, chemistry, and medicine remain invaluable to the progress of science. His innovative approach, blending empirical research with philosophical insights, set the stage for the development of modern scientific practices. His works not only shaped the scientific landscapes of his time, but also influenced generations of thinkers and scientists, laying the groundwork for discoveries that would follow centuries later. Jabir's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of knowledge and the human pursuit of understanding the mysteries of the natural world. His ideas continue to inspire us, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge knows no bounds and that each discovery opens the door to new possibilities. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate your time and attention. Don't forget to join me in the next video. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Welcome once again, and stay tuned.